hunters. This is Rick Crawford with the Wildlife Hour. Today I'm here to discuss mule deer hunting in Utah. About 6 years ago, the state of Utah divided its 5 large general season units into 29 micro units, much like Colorado did years ago. They also went to a draw system from the old over-the-counter system. A couple of other things that they did around this same time was they instigated the Coyote Predator Control Program, which is a bounty program to limit the number of coyotes in the state. The things that this accomplished was it effectively limited the harvest of bigger bucks. It increased fawn survival many times over, and it also allowed hunters to harvest bigger bucks. Now we have more deer, a larger percentage of big bucks, and an overall fawn survival that is way off the charts compared to where it used to be. I guess on the flip side is, instead of being able to get a mule deer permit every year, it is taking about 3 years to guarantee a general season mule deer permit in the draw. There's a few units in the rifle permits that take more than 3 years, but it's average around 3 years. Archery, which is my focus, I'm an archery hunter. I like to cater to archery hunters. The archery season is nearly a month long. It allows me to put on a good hunt because I've been scouting all summer. I know right where the mule deer are during the archery hunt. We haven't had any other hunters or hunts going on in the field, and so I can get my hunters right on to these deer that I've been scouting all summer long. And if you're a good archery hunter, you can make your shots, you're in decent shape, or even for guys that are not in such decent shape, if they opt to go with our tree stand style hunt, their success rates on big deer are very phenomenal. We have very high odds, probably around 75% or a little bit higher some years. And we're killing bucks from 170 inches up to 200 inches plus. And so the deer that we are killing now on these general season units are as big as the deer that were previously being harvested and are still being harvested on the limited entry units. And so, and in many cases, some of the deer we're killing are bigger than the average buck that is being killed on these limited entry units, like the Paunsaugunt or the Henry Mountains. Our overall averages are not quite on the Henry Mountains average size on deer, but we're killing deer every year that are every bit as big as some of the bucks are killing on the Henry Mountains. And so instead of taking 20 years or 15 years or however many years it takes to draw a Henry tag now, depending on whether you're a resident or a non-resident, within 3 years we can put you on a giant mule deer buck, and at a considerably less cost than these limited entry hunts, because we have the opportunity to access more hunters, so we can have 3 or 4 guys in camp, which reduces the cost for everybody. On these limited entry hunts, you know, we maybe get 1 hunter a year, and so we've got to have a special customs camp set up. We've got to go do scouting particularly for that hunt, And so that hunt has to absorb those costs, the scouting fees, the travel, the gas, all that has to be incorporated in there for this to be a viable economical business. And so we can put on a general season mule deer hunt for about $4,500. And these limited entry hunts, it's costing us our fees and everything, and included with the price, about $6,500. So you can apply it in 3 years you can hunt, or you can apply it in maybe 20 years you can hunt for a savings of around $2,000. And so I think that the general season hunt is a phenomenal opportunity right now. I think there's only really one other state out there that even rivals Utah right now, and that's Colorado. Colorado's a phenomenal state. But also with Colorado, they are impacted greatly by severe winters from time to time. And Utah overall, especially from central to southern Utah, where the majority of my hunting and operation takes place, we're very seldom affected by severe winter. We have an abundance of quality winter range. And if we get heavy snow up in the foothills and the mountains, the mule deer can just keep migrating south and they can get out of it. And so the survival rate in the winter is much higher in the majority of Utah than it is in, say, for instance, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. And so we are growing some huge deer. We're getting a lot more big bucks. We have a lot better management, handle on the management, and you can get a tag within 3 years. And so what I've done is I've put together a program for hunters. Like I said, I'm catering to archery hunters. We do take rifle hunters every year, but it's a shorter season. It's a 9-day season, and so as an outfitter, it's difficult for me to put things together for a 9-day season with the different hunters, particularly because of all the other hunts that have happened before the rifle hunt occurs. The deer are hard to find, they're harder to find, they've been shaken up by all the previous hunts, and they're scattered. And they've had some pressure on them from all the other hunts. And so it is, even though they haven't been hunted with a rifle, there's been a muzzleloader hunt, there's been an archery hunt, there's been elk hunting going on in the same general areas. And so the deer are just more difficult to find, they're harder to hunt. Of course, you have the advantage of the rifle. But if you are an archery hunter or want to have a quality, good hunt without very many hunters in the field, and see deer, unspooked deer, in their natural habitat, the archery hunt is the hunt to do. And most of these deer are still in the velvet. Some of the biggest bucks around September 1st are starting to rub their velvet off. You know, if you kill a deer, you can always have the velvet stripped off if you don't like the velvet. But myself, I think they're beautiful. And if you don't have a big velvet buck in your collection, it really adds to your taxidermy collection. So anyway, we've put together this archery mule deer program, and it's basically a three-year program that, and we have a couple of different options. You can either put down a deposit. The total hunt cost is $4,500, and that's for a 7-day hunt. And this includes all your meals, your accommodations, your sleeping arrangements, which we're sleeping in a wall tent camps right up in the mountains in the beautiful setting. The weather is mild. Sometimes we have rain, sometimes we don't. We usually have very mild, nice, warm shirt sleeve weather during the days, and then at night it gets down maybe in the 50s. And we're in a beautiful, beautiful setting up on the mountains here in Utah, up in the aspens and the pines. For our spot and stalk hunts, we are hunting in a little bit lower country. We can get into some more rugged, remote desert country. So we're hunting some of these big desert bucks with these spot and stalk type hunts. But here our two financial options are: you can do a straight 50% deposit, and with the balance of your hunt payable 30 days prior to your hunt date. And so we have our hunters pay $2,500 down, which covers your deposit and state sales tax. We have to pay sales tax here in Utah, and so we pay that up front, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then your balance of $2,000 is due 30 days prior to arrival. And you can make special arrangements to pay with cash on arrival as well. But we only do that by special arrangement because we need to be able to know that ahead of time. The other type of hunt, and this is for hunters with maybe a little bit smaller budget, and they need to plan ahead. You can do a monthly payment plan. And what this entails is a $500 deposit, and then you pay $100 a month for 35 months. So you're paying $100 a month for the 3 years until your hunt. And then you pay $500 on your last hunt. So you $500 up front, $100 a month, and then $500 the month before you come. You end up paying a little bit more this way because we're financing the hunt for you. But it does help a lot of people. You know, it's a lot easier for some people to come up with $100 a month, and then than it is to come up with a $2,500 deposit and then the $2,000 at the end. On top of this, in this 3-year program, what we're doing is we're planning that within 3 years you're going to draw this tag, and when you draw the tag, you will hunt, or if you're on the payment plan, at the end of 3 years you'll be guaranteed a tag, and then you will hunt that 3rd year. If you have any questions, you can give me a call and I'll clarify some of these things. But what we're trying to do is trying to get guys into the field and kill some of these big mule deer bucks. Because every year I have great big old bucks that I've got on trail camera that I'm sitting there glassing, and I don't have a hunter for them. And that's a good problem to have, but I'm trying to bring awareness out there so that we can help some more hunters. We can expand our business a little bit, give some more guides some work, and give you some better opportunities on big bucks. That's something that seems like every hunter is looking for in their goals, is to have a big mule deer buck. And so each year during this program you have to buy a Utah hunting license, which is $65, and then you pay a $10 application fee for applying for mule deer. And if you draw the permit, then you pay for the license, which is $268. If you don't draw the license that year, then you just have the $75 fee, which is your $65 hunting license and your $10 application fee. This is pretty much standardized in the western states and most of the states today, where you buy a hunting license and you have a set fee for your application, and then you're not charged for your tag unless you draw. So you know, with your license every year, you can hunt small game and fishing as well. So, and then there's a couple of over-the-counter tags that you can get still in Utah. One is the general season elk tag, and the other is the harvest objective mountain lion hunt. and we do those 2 hunts as well. So if you're interested in a mountain lion hunt or a archery elk hunt or a general season rifle hunt, you can also contact us, and we can explain the details of those hunts. And so if you sign up for one of our, if you'll book a hunt today, then within the next 3 years, we can guarantee you that you'll have the opportunity to kill a great mule deer buck here in Utah. And there's not very many other states out there that you can economically hunt a great big mule deer buck of this caliber and have an opportunity and see deer. They're just, the management isn't there and the habitat isn't there. And so we encourage you to do this, and we're trying to do everything we can to put on a phenomenal hunt for our hunters. We have a small camp size. We only have 4 hunters or less in our camps, and we are focusing on trophy animals. And for the hunter, we have 2 different types of hunting that we do. We will do a tree stand and ground blind type of hunt, where we have ground blinds and tree stands set up where these big bucks are watering and feeding, and in between these core areas we've got these set up, and then we play the wind, and we do hunt just like you would hunt a whitetail, a great big whitetail buck. We know where these deer are moving, where they're feeding, and where they're watering, and then we use the wind for the day, the times when you're there, we're moving you to those stands where you're going to have the best likelihood of killing that big buck that we've been scouting for you. And then the other style that we have is we have a spot and stalk hunt. This is more of a western style hunt. Some of you eastern guys that are used to hunting whitetail from a tree stand and want to do some western spot and stalk hunting, this is a very highly successful hunt. We're finding these big bucks, we're watching them bed down, and then we're planting a stalk on them once the wind stabilizes. And this is a hunt for a guy that's in good physical conditioning, because you're doing a lot of hiking, you're in some more rugged country, and it just takes a little bit better physical conditioning. With all these hunts, we have a lot of trail cameras out, we're out there videoing these bucks, we're glassing these deer. We are hunting specific deer with each of our hunters. We are putting you on a specific buck that we've been scouting. There's no guesswork here. And so you can be excited and confident as we send you pictures of these deer that we've selected for you, and you can keep up with what's going on up until the time that you hunt. And we keep you involved in that. And that's part of the excitement of booking a hunt with us, is that we keep you up to date on what's going on. We send you pictures, trail cam photos, video clips, and try to prepare you as much as we can for the type of the hunt that you're going to do. As with any type of hunting, the better shape that you can be in, and the better you can be familiar with your weapon, have your weapon tuned, your bow, and have everything ready to go, as well as be mentally prepared for your hunt. And then you're going to have the opportunity to have great success. I encourage all my hunters to have their bows and equipment set up 100% camouflage, flat black, flat green colors, no shiny parts, and to use a whisker biscuit type rest. I'd like all my archery hunters to be able to shoot out to 60 yards accurately, and to be able to make a good, ethical, clean shot out to 60 yards on a broadside animal or a quartering away animal. With today's archery tackle equipment, hard, fast shooting, flat shooting bows, carbon arrows, and broadheads that are pinpoint accurate, just like your field points, there's really no excuse for not being able to shoot 60 yards and kill a deer. Maybe some small frame shooters or women or youth may have difficulty with that. And if that's the case, then we can do everything in our power to try to put you a little bit closer to the action. And we'll work with you on your limitations. Now, if you have any shoulder injuries or disabilities, in Utah you can use a crossbow to hunt during the archery hunt, but you have to have a doctor's signature. But if you have a disability or injury and you have a doctor's signature, this is a phenomenal way for you to be able to harvest a great mule deer buck. If you would like to have more information, you can go to the link below or where it shows on the information where our website is. It's biggamehunting.com, BIGAME hunting.com, or you can give us an email or contact us from the phone number which is listed on the introduction here into this YouTube video. If you like this hunt, please, or this video, please like us and share. Tell your friends about us, anybody that might be interested in archery hunting, if you're not an archery hunter, or if you want to bring a friend along. We like to take small groups up to 4 people, and it helps with our scouting. It helps cut the cost down on our hunt. It helps you as well with your travel. And if you were to drive to a hunt, which I encourage people to do if they can, to drive so that they can bring their animals home. It's getting really expensive and it's expensive and difficult to transport game through the airlines anymore. And you know, if you travel with a vehicle and share the cost and expense with 2 or 3 of your friends, it can be very economical travel for you. We also have some logo gear that we have for sale on our website, as well as our taxidermy mounting system that we sell called Headlock. With this type of a system, you can lock your taxidermy mounts onto the wall. Not only can they not fall off of the wall, but they can't be stolen. So it's very secure. I invented this system for traveling to hunting shows where I needed to leave my mounts in overnight. But this is a great system for taxidermists or for homeowners. You can hang your head on the wall. It can't fall off the wall, and it can't be stolen. And you can get if you have a lot of taxidermy work and you have it insured, you can get a cut off of your insurance rate from your homeowner's insurance by telling them that you have your taxidermy mounts locked up. So please like us and support us. The sales of these things help us to produce these videos, to be able to spend more time in the field, to bring you better quality content, and to put on some great hunts. So we hope that you will come join us in the near future on an archery deer hunt. Thank you.